right, welcome back to Goonie's World. My name is Goonie, also known as Colin, and I'm joined, as always, by Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Ahoy, mateys.
And Meanie, also known as Ryan.
Hello, love.
And we're back for part 2 of Versus Pirates.
That's right, and I won't bother with a lengthy recap. We'll jump right back into the action. Our heroes, or our anti-heroes, Nicholas Nibble and Petey Tweed, along with Mr. Twitchy the Rat, let's not forget him,
That's right.
have captured a small English sloop of war called the Phobos from Captain Murgatroyd, and left the Marines, the English Marines who were once crewed it, stranded on the beach of an island, and with the pirates you guys rescued, you're presumably going to Port Royal in Jamaica to rescue your best mate, Two Toes Ramsey, who you've heard was captured with a bunch of other pirates who survived the same wreck you did. And so you've got your crew of about a dozen pirates and 10 seamen who were sort of impressed into your service through a rousing speech and also the desire not to get stabbed to death, because all of your pirates have helped themselves to sabers and things like that they found in the ship's lockers. And you're sailing away. The island you were on, La Navas is what the old Mama Brigitte, who you met on the island, called it. It's far in the distance now. The currents are in your favor and the wind's in your favor. You're heading more or less sort of southwest, a little more west. And you got the run of this ship now. Like I said, it's not huge, but there is wheelhouse, as you mentioned last time, because Nicholas Nibble jumped up and began shouting out orders, which were obeyed. And your pirates and the sailors are doing their best to get the ship underway, but you've got the run of the place really right now, and you haven't really given it a good once-over yet. Of your pirates who you already know, Rum Blossoms, the Irish fella, and King David, the big African guy, seem to be doing most of the actual organizing and things like that, leaving you guys free to conspire or explore or whatever you'd like to do here under this beautiful late afternoon Caribbean sun, crystal clear but treacherous waters.
Well, I was gonna find out who's gonna be the interim captain. I think, there's no official captain. Captain Murgatroyd is no longer with us. So I wonder who's gonna be the one in charge. And I'm gonna go find out and see if it's not going to be me, then I can at least, maybe being a helper, something like I can learn something from the person that is taking charge.
Well, I'd suggest that maybe someone already has. When Nicholas jumped up onto the wheelhouse last time, I think he specifically said, like a guy pretending to be a pirate, like it was all in fun. But when he said it, everybody,
the first person that starts, giving orders probably is going to be the one in charge.
Well, and as soon as he started barking orders and people started, doing stuff, that immediately went to his fucking head, right? So,
oh, I'm sure. How could it not?
So he's gonna stand, at the wheelhouse. He's not going to attempt to pilot the ship, but he will captain it and be happy to give orders. And his first is going to be,
where do you keep the rum? Somebody fetch me up some rum.
I can help with that, I guess. If I'm going to be taking orders.
You'll be assistant to the captain.
Yeah, that's right.
First mate, I guess. Yeah.
First mate, all right. I'm already climbing the ladder.
Well, you climb down into the hold. The sailors look on glumly once this request for rum comes on. And there's definitely rum on board. And I knew this was going to be trouble because listeners may not realize this, but Nicholas Nibble is a bit of a drunk, I believe. A bit of a drunkard. But then again, this sailors, this is what keeps these ships going, is rum. and there's plenty of it down there. We're talking a pipe of rum, which is like multiple casks, I think. There's a lot of it, and pewter mugs to go around. And will you be issuing rum to the entire crew, or will you be just partaking in it yourself?
Well, if there's that much, there's enough to share. They can, whatever I don't know, like what the normal procedure would be for rationing it, but I can't possibly drink all this between here and Port Royal. So yeah, drink if you want, drink if you got them.
Well, if that order goes out, then everybody definitely does.
Rum all around, everybody, get happy.
Well, a cheer comes up at that.
I've never partaken in rum before. I heard it's quite spicy, and it might upset my delicate stomach. I got a very sensitive stomach. I grew up mostly eating porridge, and I couldn't handle anything spicy at all. So I might just try a little sippy sip of it and see how it treats me, because I need to be a pirate, and pirates drink rum, right? So I'll just take a little taste of it and see what happens.
You can't be a pirate if you don't drink rum.
Well, I'm trying. It's just very sensitive.
Take a big swig of this, and he hands over a pewter mug.
Yeah, just drink it, says King David. And this big old mug of rum. And usually they get this watered down, which is called grog, but this is a special occasion. And you take a drink of rum for the first time, Petey Tweed. What do you think of it?
It's quite a kick to it. It's hard to breathe a little bit, but it's not bad taste, I guess. I think I might get used to it.
Down in the hold, there's also some hard bread and salt pork and things like that. So if you want to issue rations as well, it's not like you're sailing to Europe or anything. You don't expect it to take more than a few days. Unless contrary winds come up, which is doubtful at this time of year.
Mug of rum. Get a mug of rum for the first mate here. And
he'll take the mug back from Petey and just knock the whole thing back. It's a few massive gulps, and belch loudly upon doing so. And he'll look up. And will he see the British flag flying?
Oh, yes.
Crikey, get that fucking thing down!
Right away, says Filthy Pierre, who takes great pleasure in lowering the hated flag.
Are we going to raise a pirate flag like a Jolly Roger or something?
Well, I haven't got one, but if I had got one, I would do it.
Well, you haven't been into Captain Murgatroyd's cabin yet. It's possible one could be improvised from the bedding,
or perhaps he captured ours from our shipwreck or something. I don't know. But yes, let's go, Petey, and investigate the captain's quarters. My quarters, I mean, of course.
All right. Well, Filthy Pierre takes the wheel because he's a pretty good pilot in general, and King David seems to have been, taking over most of the basic operations. They're staying on top of it, but the crew's definitely getting drunk, and there's like no real discipline yet, although there hasn't been a problem yet. But they're loud, they're boisterous, they're having a good old time, while you guys go into Murgatroyd's quarters, which are beneath the wheelhouse. And inside is surprisingly Spartan. You'd think of, the guy seemed to have a great appetite. He was a very, very, very big guy. And it quickly becomes apparent that the few clothes he has in here, there's just no way they're going to fit anybody at all. They're just so big. And, but that being said, there is a set of very good rudders in here of the Caribbean, especially on the north of Hispaniola, between Mexico and the outer Caribbean, and the southern parts of North America, and that's probably useful to you in the long run someday. And otherwise, there's not a lot in here other than various personal belongings like a straight razor and a mirror. He does have an extra wig, which might come in handy, because he had the full-on white wig. But there is like a huge a naval officer jacket, blue with the gold facings and all that, and it would look ridiculous on either one of you, but you could use it for something. And of course, he's got a good feather bed in here as well that somebody could sleep in. It'd be big enough for 2 or 3, really, because he was a big guy.
Well, you gonna take the wig, Nicholas?
No, I don't want it. I look ridiculous in a fucking wig.
Oh, I quite fancy it because I'm bald, so maybe I'll look more presentable now.
You put it on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
I look like a proper first mate.
Mr. Twitchy, who's usually riding around on your shoulder, kind of gets himself about half buried in it, and he's just sticking his little rat face out from in between the powdered curls. And anyway, though, I mean, his jacket or the blankets are in here. Almost anything could be used to rig up some kind of flag. Otherwise, as you're exploring and as the crew is partying, while maintaining a course above you, night comes on very suddenly, as it does at these latitudes, and you can see that the men upstairs are lighting the lamps. The men on deck are lighting the ship's lamps and things like that. But at least you got quarters in here if you want them. But this ship's not made for long journeys, so it's not like he has his whole life stored in here.
Now, I'm going to take the sheet, which I assume is white, off of the bed and find some tar.
Oh yeah, they got plenty of tar down the hole for repairs.
We're gonna make a Jolly Roger.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Sort of a negative image of the Jolly Roger. I always picture it as the white on black, but this would be a lot easier to make.
Yeah.
Oh, unless you were to paint in tar all on the outsides,
That was my intention, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I was picturing like a line drawing, the skull and crossbones, like a cartoon, which would have been kind of funny. But unless you're a gifted artist, it might look a little cartoonish. But up goes that Jolly Roger, I assume. Or are you waiting to raise it at a different time?
No, it's going up as soon as it's ready. And
no, well, there's cheers all around, of course, as this happens. It's kind of reflected in the flickering light of the ship's lanterns, up there, because it's pretty much full on dusk now. It looks nice and sinister, the way a good Jolly Roger should.
excellent. Let's see. I had another plan, but I've forgotten what it was.
Well, my plan is I hope on the way to Jamaica, I hope we get to do a bit of pirating. I haven't got my sea legs just quite yet, so trying to, get some more experience under my belt.
Well, no sooner do you say that than from up in the nest above where Rum Blossoms has stationed himself, here, ship ahoy! Off the starboard bow! Which would be sort of south or northwest from you, more or less. A little more west than north. And King David, who sailed with you long enough, immediately orders the ship's lights put out. Your ship's lights put out. And still too far away to tell much about it. Would you guys like to veer off into that area if you can and take a look?
Well, I do have a personal spyglass that I listed in my inventory, and I'll see if I can spot anything with that.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do that? And you scope it out, and in the takes takes a second to come into focus. But then you see a very fat little ship before you. It's not huge. It's bigger than yours. It's about 60 feet, about twice the size. But it's flying a Dutch flag, St. Eustatius, actually, which is a Dutch island. It normally wouldn't be out in this area that you're aware of, but there was a big storm recently, so maybe it's riding low in the water too, like it's heavy with something, heavy with cargo. You can't really make out much because what you're really seeing is the lights of the ship and, details of it reflected in those lights. But it doesn't appear to be heavily armed. You only see one gun on the side that you're looking at. I mean, it might only have two guns, one per side. You've heard that some Dutch merchants do carry German mercenaries aboard. Who knows? But you've got a dozen bloodthirsty pirates on your ship. You probably can't rely on these sailors to do much other than not sail away. But who knows? It's definitely heavily laden with something, and the Dutch are not known for being poor.
Yeah, they're like traders and stuff. Usually have some goods. I'll relay that information. That's Dutch.
How would you like to get your first pirate legs under you?
That would be a dream come true. Then no one could say I'm not a pirate. They call me Pirate Petey, for sure.
And the men are getting excited too. The men are getting excited. First of all, everybody's drunk, and not necessarily always a negative when it comes to storming other people's ships. They've all got a ton of liquid courage happening, and they've just been through a storm. They just escaped from death.
Well, I'm going to jump back up on the wheelhouse and take off the British uniform and draw a cutlass and point in the direction of the Dutch ship and say,
"Let's get 'em, boys!"
Hey, Captain, bend the top sails! And it's a westerly wind anyway, so it's a matter of swinging the sail to make you veer north instead of south. And now is definitely the time to do it. And your ships aren't lighted, so you come looming up out of the darkness. You get closer and closer, and to where you can all see these details that were pointed out earlier. And that being said, it's not like entirely pitch black. So when you're within about a mile of it, a nautical mile of it, you hear the ship's bell go off on their ship, and you can tell from the flurry of activity of the little figures on board that they've noticed you, and they appear to be doing their best to put on speed, but you're kind of veering in at an angle that is going to cut them off in the direction they're going. They're also going against the wind, and they're slow as hell. You don't think you're going to have any problem sailing right up next to them. And you're not quite in range yet, but if you want to fire at them, you also feel pretty certain they maybe got two guns. They might have some small swivel guns and things like that on their decks, but this is not a warship. And it would normally be escorted, but it is not. It's by itself.
all right, I'm going to holler up.
Right, get alongside when able.
And King David begins directing the men, and they do their best. You swing around in towards them, and they have doused their lights like way too late, of course. And they're attempting to swing off towards the north, but they're not able to because their ship is in fact sluggish, while your ship is fast. And what do you want to do? How close should we get?
Close enough to shoot the bastards.
Oh, well, you're swooping in, and when you're within a few hundred yards, you feel confident about it, but you're only going to be able to use 2 guns at a time, really, but that's okay. Because they're on either side of the ship.
I haven't seen any white flags come up, so...
No, you have not. They look intent on flight, but they may change their mind.
Fire!
And boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to let you guys draw the cards for him. He's making a swashbuckling roll to direct the gunners. And please draw 4 cards for him. And he's looking for a 6 at this range.
A 10 and an 8.
All right. And what's that highest card? 10? It's a clubs?
Yep.
All right. Well, please narrate the result. I'll add a twist as necessary.
So the balls go crashing into the Dutch ship, and
Oh, yes. We'll say it's above the water line, because I don't think you intend to actually sink it.
no, that would defeat the purpose.
It'd be crazy. But, yeah, I mean, there's showers of splinters, everywhere. And you hear some screams and cries. And you do punch a hole in the side of it, though, and this heavy brown powdery substance starts spilling out. Not like in a huge torrent, but it's trickling out. You can see that in the firelight. Like, might have hit some valuable cargo, but not all of it.
Might be,
That's my twist.
might be tea. I think that's my luck. I was pining for some tea, and now we might be out of it.
See, it was
Out of
powdery.
Yeah, like powdery. Yeah.
Oh, looks like brown sugar to me. We could make some more rum.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, it's just one little tiny problem, one little tiny twist, and their one gun desperately fires back. I'm drawing three cards here. I do, however, draw an ace, and they have fired some grape shot at you, and it goes skittering across the deck. Both of you guys make some swashbuckling rolls to leap out of the way, and I'm going to make a group. I keep calling them rolls, but we're drawing cards, and I'm going to make a group one for your crew, but you need a 6 to avoid it. Luckily for them, they've got a 9, and there's no serious damage done to the men. How about you guys?
Yes. Highest for me is 7 of clubs.
Well, that's good. You needed a 6. And so you dive to the ground. Mr. Twitchy gets lost in the confusion, though. That's my twist.
Oh no.
Yeah, so my highest is an ace of clubs.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, you definitely, but you comically stumble off the wheelhouse and fall on your ass because you're a little prone to that rum. But no damage done, but look like an ass. Just for a second. That's my twist. And by this time, though, and they're great shots, it's effectively might as well not even have happened. A lot of us skittered just a little too high, but it does do some damage to some rigging and ropes, and there's some chunks missing out of the single mast of your ship, but not enough to, it's cosmetic damage. It's nothing the man can't fix. Shall we go in closer, sir?
Yes, just get as close as you can. I'm gonna try to board her.
Yeah, let's board
I
him.
love that idea. And now you get close. You can see there's a heavy set Dutch merchant captain running back and forth, waving his arms, looking panicky on the ship. And these guys come out wearing really old school helmets. A lot of guys aren't wearing these anymore, but they're sloped down the back, sort of Darth Vader style. These must be these German mercenaries you've heard. They're not wearing full armor. They just have that helmet, and then leather doublets and things like that. But they've got big pikes, like they're expecting a boarding action. They've got like 12-foot pikes that they look like they might be trying to stave you off with.
Uh-oh.
But everybody who wants to go board the ship can make a swashbuckling roll automatically. And I don't know if you just jump across or swing across or what, but I'm going to make another group roll for your men. I'm including the pirates as combatants, but not your sailors. Hi, quick edit here. In the following scene, we do combat wrong. We're counting the numerical difference between cards as damage in combat, but it's supposed to be the number of higher cards in your hand, so we goofed. So if you know how to play this game, you'd know that. And if you don't, you can thank our goof for a much quicker combat. All right, back to the action. And this is kind of hard to do, though, in the face of pikes. So you need a 10 or more. Your failure does not indicate you'll be stabbed. It just... Not necessarily. Your men do great. Your men have an ace of clubs here. And so with a mighty yo-ho-ho and a snarl, they are swinging over to their deck. Meanwhile, how about their leaders?
Come along, Petey!
All right, I guess this is it. I got a queen of clubs.
Queen, that's great.
And I got a king of hearts.
Oh, well, then you have full narration rights there with no twist for me. When you said Petey, I thought of Luke and Leia swinging on the rope off of Jabba's sail barge just for a second with Petey and the Leia roll. But what does happen? How do you guys board their ship?
I'd like to board and, just leap off the railing of the... well, I guess I fell off the wheelhouse, but...
It's true, but
leap from
that was then
from one ship to the other and just immediately start engaging whoever I can see pikemen, I guess, with
it would be the German pikemen, and then that's great, no twist from me there, and you land right in the middle of them, and meanwhile, Petey, you succeed in getting across as well. How do you do it? I've got to add a twist to this though, whatever it is.
Well, I actually almost had my own twist, but I just he wants to do it very cinematically, not very carefully do it, not badass at all. Just kind of.
Yeah, well, I love that because this whole crew of pirates badass and jumping on you.
He's turning behind and climbing down the little ladders or something, swimming a little bit and then climbing up another ladder.
Well, and meanwhile, by the way, there are also musketoons going off at this point because your men are already engaged and they have no problem just firing a musketoon or a pistol right an inch from somebody's face, which can be kind of effective sometimes. Now that you guys are in past the pikes, those have proven more or less useless. And short blades are coming out, these German mercenaries who themselves are armed with musketoons. And it's a vicious, vicious fight. I'm going to draw some cards here for the mercenaries, but I'd like you guys to make a group draw for your men, if you will. And as a group, their swashbuckling is 3.
Okay. So do you want us to both draw 3, or?
No, just one of you draw 3, I guess, for your men. I could do this, but it's more fun if you...
Well, the captain should draw it then.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. And I've got here a jack of spades and a jack of diamonds.
Well, our pirates have a queen of clubs.
Oh my. Well, they definitely do 1 point of overall health to the other crowd. There are a dozen mercenaries, there are a dozen of these guys. One of the Germans goes down with that aforementioned musketoon to the face. And I'm going to make a note that they're down by 1/12. Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and just start with you, Nick, because you jumped down boldly right into the thick of some of these Hessians who often seek employment in other countries. About 76 more years, they'll be up causing a bunch of trouble in the Americas. But why don't you go, and I assume you're going to be laying into these Hessians with a vengeance.
Oh, indeed.
All right. And they have just drawn... I'm drawing for them as a group again, so they only get 2 cards, and the highest I've got for them is a 6 of diamonds.
I've got an ace of diamonds.
Oh my. Well, please quickly calculate the... That's definitely enough to kill more than 1. What's the difference between ace and 6?
Well, ace is 13, so 7. No, ace
7,
is...
right.
No, it's not 13. Yeah, 14, so 8.
8 of them. Okay, well, that is enough to kill 2 of them. Just flat out. Just in the landing slash. You know what I mean? And because they have a health of 4 individually. These unimportant NPCs. And meanwhile, after your careful maneuver, Petey, over onto this fat Dutch merchantman, what do? You're immediately, of course, confronted by snarling Hessians.
Aha! I'm gonna cleave you to the brisket, and that means cut someone from the chest. Cutting across the chest from the shoulder to the stomach.
And there's some pirate lingo for you.
So, my swashbuckling queen is 4. Oh, shit.
I forgot to draw for my guys. Let me draw for mine. I have a 7 of hearts is the highest I've got.
I got an ace of spades.
Oh, the ace of spades. So that's going to be like 1 less 7 altogether difference, which kills one of them and puts another one almost dead enough that he's staggering back, screaming, "Mein Gott! Mein Gott! Mein Gott!" holding on to his bloody face. And I mean, just in this first assault, I can think of there's like 5 Hessians down already. Meanwhile, the overweight merchant captain is he's flourished his blade, but he doesn't engage in combat. He's backed up to the aft castle, or the built up part in the back of the ship, and he's standing in front of the door to it protectively, like he's not going to let anyone pass. "None shall pass," he even yells. And meanwhile, these Hessians have not surrendered yet, and I think the action should shift back to your men. And as this combat continues, led on really by King David, who's pretty much the best of your fighters. Meanwhile, Rum Blossom is just shooting his musketoon from up in the crow's nest of your ship. And they've got the Hessians, though, who remain. They don't get their reputation for being wusses, and they continue to fight against the odds, and they've got a 10 of hearts as their highest. How about your men, Captain?
The ace of spades and the ace of diamonds.
Oh, my.
Or, I mean, hearts.
Okay, well, please, you may narrate the results, although obviously it's a 10, Jack, King, Queen, Ace. There's another one bites the dust. Okay, now half of them are gone. How did you do that anyway? Was it with the blade or the musketoons, or what? How did you kill that dude?
Oh, they're musketooning to the face.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a lot of there's a lot of musketooning to the face going on here tonight. Yeah, and so how about in particular? How about you? What are you doing, Nick?
I'm continuing to wield my cutlass in what I hope will be an effective manner at... I couldn't think of a good word. I was trying to come up with an alliteration for Hessians.
I can't think of any that...
Hack up the Hessians.
Hack at those Hessians. Do a little Hessian hacking.
Batten down the Hessians.
Yes.
Yes, well, the Hessians are their own worst enemy here with a 6 of spades.
And Nick has a queen of spades.
Oh my goodness. How many more is that? Math people.
12, and they got a 6, so 6.
Alright. There's another man down. Now they're more than half. And, but Petey, you still have some part to play in this. What are you doing?
Well, I will continue swashbuckling.
Yes, please do. And so will those fighting you. And I have a 10 of spades here.
Okay, I'm going to use one of my good qualities, which is lucky. Once per encounter, I redraw my cards for action. Because
that's right.
I didn't beat that, so we'll try again. And if I don't get that, I also have a hold card, which you gave us last time.
Yeah, you guys both have hull cars. And also, I've been forgetting, I'm not retconning it and adding extra damage, but musketoons are messy. They do +2 damage, and the blades leave a scar. They do +1. So we got to remember that.
Okay. What did you say your highest was?
A 10 of spades.
Oh, man. Okay. I got a, let's see, an ace of diamonds would be the highest.
Well, that is pretty high. So we got 10, Jack, King. Wait. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. There's only 5. Another man down. Okay, at this point, there's only a few of the Marines left standing. The sailors have instinctively scrambled up into the rigging. But the heavy-set captain says, Wait! Stop! I claim the right to parley! And then you're like, oh, damn, because now according to the Pirates Code, you have to let him, now you have to negotiate with him, because it's just part of the Pirates Code, yeah.
Gotta follow the code.
Right then, Dutchman, what's your cargo?
We carry coffee, already ground, in Mexico City. Pack much more in than just a bean, you see. Many crates. We're taking to St. Eustatius, please. Let us put away in the ship's boat. I carry much more precious cargo here. And please, Captain, may I speak to your ears alone?
All right.
And he comes and leans in close to you. And then stabs you. No. Captain, I must beg of you. My daughter is aboard. My beautiful daughter, Katrina Van Schmashel. Please, let me sail away with her, with my men, in the longboat. I beg of you, do not let your men ravish her.
I didn't think it was coffee weighing this boat down. I don't want bloody coffee. Well, no use for fucking coffee. Have you got any gold?
No, not much gold, no, but we spent it on the coffee. But it will fetch a very good price in Barbados or Port Royal or any English port you put into, especially when they find out it's already ground. I beg of you, sir, have mercy. Surely you are made of the same God who made me, and we are not that different, but for a little twist. Just let my daughter go, please. I beg you.
Fuck. Fine, we'll take this fucking ship and sell the goddamn coffee ourselves. I don't fucking want to. But, money's money. Alright, so off you pop.
Well, thank you. He's bowing obsequiously, and all his men breathe this collective sigh of relief. The only people who seem to have a bad attitude about it at all are the 3 remaining Hessians who give you dirty looks. But once that door opens and the smashingly beautiful Katrina Van Schmashel comes sashaying out onto the deck, there's this collective ominous growl amongst all of the pirates.
Quite fetching.
Despite her shawl and everything she's done, to not attract attention, and her Captain von Schmashel is just desperately getting her over to that longboat, and his men are doing their best to get it quickly hoisted out so they can lower it down into the water. But your men get so anxious that I think one of you might need to speak to them.
Well, I was about
make a parlay test here. It'd be easy, just a 6.
Well, I'm not good at it at all, but I'm gonna try.
All right.
Oh, I got a king of clubs.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
And he will say,
Right, you fucking short-horned sea dogs. You're not gonna fucking Van Schmassel that, so I'm gonna Van Schmassel you in the fucking face if you don't stop it.
Well, that's exactly the type of strong leadership men like this respect. And just before the longboat's lowered, Captain Van Schmashel turns and he addresses your crew, and he's tossing a bag of gold in his hand, like a purse, and he says, "Sirs, for the brothels at Port Royal. Thank you. And he throws the coins on the ship, and all your men are like, ah, as the port smashes open. And so...
You're just gonna let them sail away then?
Well, yeah, we've done killed enough of them.
Well, I just was reading in books that dead men tell no tales. Isn't that what the pirates say?
Well, it's true, but, we got the ship, we got coffee, we can sell. Got a bunch of fucking money we're gonna make off of this, and, I don't see any reason to kill them. I mean, I do have some bit of a code where it's like, if you don't need to fucking die, I'm not gonna kill them. But I do like to kill them when they make me.
Yes, as the bodies of 9 slain Hessians that your men are already scattering sawdust on the deck to soak up their blood and picking them up and heaving them off into the water, which is very, very quickly, filled with sharks.
Is there anyone that's still alive, like hanging on at all?
Of the Hessians? No.
Or just anyone?
They all got musket changed to the face, most of them.
Oh, I was hoping I was going to get to see a keyhauling. That'll be quite a sight.
Well, there's always tomorrow. And of course it's night now. And now you mentioned taking this ship. You're going to have to... I mean, you're going to have to choose a ship. You don't have enough crew to take both.
Well, this way we could, when we get to Port Royal, we shouldn't have any, bad encounters. We shouldn't have any trouble getting in the port there with this Dutch ship.
Well, I'd hope so. So I think we should definitely take this one over that one.
Could take the rest of the night to move the guns, Captain, says King David. If you want, we should move guns.
Well, that's a good point, King David. That's a good point. Yeah, let's go ahead and move the guns, and then just sink the British bastard.
Scuttle it.
Scuttle it. That's right.
All right, well, the men do so with great enthusiasm, even though it's very hard work getting the guns over. There's a lot of hoisting involved. And then there's some minor carpentry that must be done in the wee hours of the morning just to make the guns sit right, and have holes to fire out of and that sort of thing. But with a ship about twice the size of the one you left with, it's sluggish. This is a slow ship. But turning it around and going back west, you'll have the wind in your favor. And again, your crew is about the best that can be expected under these circumstances. They are also not going to get to sleep as much because it's a bigger ship. It's got more mass. It requires more people. So between your pirates and the 10 sailors, they are kept busy. But you find all kinds of just luxury items in Captain von Schmaschel's quarters.
Oh, wait. Before the ship was scuttled, I would have to have... he was going to look for Mr. Twitchy if he can.
I was just about to say that that turned over on the table is a large wine goblet, and you see Mr. Twitchy's ass end sticking out of the wine goblet. He's licking the wine off the table. And in
Mr. Twitchy, you carouser, you get
he runs
here.
up and climbs back up onto your neck and gets a little wine juice on your white curls of your wig. But there's all kinds of luxury items in here. Like, he doesn't just have a goblet. He's got a goblet with, jewels encrusted in it and all kinds of stuff. The wealth is pretty fabulous. Just the contents of this room. But a lot of it's like useless stuff, though. Cups aren't useless. And little mirrors aren't useless. And fine wigs aren't useless. And clothes. But it would almost be like playing dress up to actually use any of this stuff, which I can totally picture everyone doing.
Yeah, if we're... Because I would like to get out of this British costume. Well, clothes that I'm in, and I guess get myself into some Dutch clothes with all the buckles and all that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, if you want to. There's slightly more dour, a lot of browns and blacks, but
Isn't there any chocolate? This is a Dutch ship. There should be chocolate around here somewhere.
Chocolate.
you know what? Draw a card, and if you draw a black card, there's chocolate in Katrina Van Schmachel's quarters.
Ha, 4 of clubs.
There you go. There's 4 lovely boxes of chocolates.
I'm not going to tell anybody what I found. It's just for me and Chuchi.
Well, do you? Again, the moving of the guns took most of the night. It's dawn, and people can do their best to sleep in shifts, things like that. But if you want to, every hour probably counts for your good friend Two Toes Ramsey in Port Royal. So I'll assume you're making haste and sleeping as you can.
Yeah, I mean, Nick is gonna stay up and be, reasonably drunk for as long as he can stay awake and try to captain the ship to Port Royal.
Well, as Eric Dillon once told me, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Right.
So I imagine he can keep going for quite some time. And, the men sleep it off. If there's one thing pirates are used to, it's rum hangovers. That doesn't completely destroy, the ship's operations.
Well, and of course, I mean, I didn't specifically say this, but it seems like it would go without saying that, of course, we brought the fucking rum over with the cannons. I mean...
Well, I think that...
At least some of it.
I think you're right. I think, and probably some of the bread and things like that, too. But, at any rate, traveling throughout the next day when it's pretty hot, it's without incident, and by evening, because the winds have been good, even though this ship is sluggish, you do see the coastlines of lovely Jamaica, one of the jewels of British power in this area. And just after dark, you can see the lights of Port Royal itself, and it's actually built on this long spit of sandy land that shelters this luxurious harbor where, hundreds and hundreds of ships can be completely safe from, the ocean's fury here in this beautiful harbor. But the first thing you do notice, however, are dead bodies in cages on the approaches to the city, hanging there with signs indicating that these were pirates. There is a huge fortress of heavy stone on at the end of the spit of land that is the British fortress here, where Two Toes Ramsey is undoubtedly being kept. And then there's several thousand people live here. It's still, to this day, known as the wickedest city on Earth. They put a lot of stop to the open haven for piracy that this place used to be, but everybody knows there are plenty of quote-unquote ex-pirates and quote-unquote independent traders living in Port Royal, which is very crowded, and
very loose women as well, I heard.
There are countless brothels here, you've heard. Countless brothels and tap rooms of the most vile description. And furthermore, the town's spilling out over onto the Jamaican mainland, where more decent folk have gone to clear out a few acres and grow sugar cane and enslave people and all the other things that they do. And so that's what you see in a Port Royal at night. It's always got to be a good time. And this huge ship you've got comes creaking into the harbor. And it's, mere formalities to get the thing docked, but formalities nonetheless. And as, again, these familiar British Marines uniforms, or English Marines specifically speaking, you do see on the docks, and a harbor master approaches.
Do you want me to parlay with him?
All right, let's see your bill of lading then. Let's see here.
And since I'm dressed in the Dutch clothing, I'm gonna have to pretend I'm Dutch. This is a Dutch ship as well.
It is, and I didn't mention the name of the ship, which is on its plate, is the Cosmos with a K, Cosmos. And it is a little bit damaged, but we'll assume you guys got that hole in the side of it patched up, and it's more or less. But yeah, you guys...
Well, I'm gonna act like, we heard him, and I'm gonna say, Flugel, Ocean, Flugel, Flarften, and,
Oh, bloody Dutch bastards. They didn't even send in you could speak English this time. What are you carrying? What are you carrying?
So,
says the harbor.
Now, I'm not sure about this point in history, but I know, or at least earlier, 90 years ago or whatever, it was not at all uncommon for British crew members to be on, like, a Dutch ship.
Oh, no. In fact, or vice versa, in fact, it gets back to the idea of the sailors themselves being more of an occupation and less of a military career. And the officers and the Marines on board the ship were doing the fighting. So not everybody here has to fake that accent, but the captain might have to.
Well, I was acting as the captain. I guess he's pretending to be the captain.
I guess they're assuming he is. He's got the wig and everything, obviously, and he's speaking in Dutch.
Well, what they think is Dutch anyway. Right, now. First officer here, it's just coffee.
Coffee, eh?
Flufken.
Shut
All
the
right,
fuck
then.
up, you Dutch bastard. He don't know what I'm saying.
You taking warehouse space, you offloading here, you picking up, you selling. What's your deal then? What's your story, Cosmos crew?
We're selling the coffee. That's the plan anyway.
Right, market's open at the 9th hour of the morning then.
Right, very good. Pre-ground and everything.
And there's no docking fees here because it's an open port. That's one of the things that makes it so lucrative. And so yeah, if you really do want to sell the coffee and make money, you have to come back and do that in the morning. But
what time of day is it right now?
It's night. You sailed most of this day, and it was sunset as you were approaching Jamaica and first saw the coast.
All right. Right, men. For those of you that speak English, we disembark here. And, go out and enjoy this city, eh?
Yeah, before you even finish the sentence, they're grabbing that brothel money that Captain Van Schmashel gave them, and they're tearing off into the crowded warrens of Port Royal, which are in the opposite direction, away from the fort, which has got some enclosed areas with the governor's residence and stores and things like that. And I don't mean like stores to shop in. I mean like storage warehouses for the garrison. And I'm sure the garrison might have some weakness that somebody in this town knows about. But do you guys wish to go about and see if you can gather any news or intelligence of Two Toes Ramsey, or reconnoiter the fort itself, or what would you like to do here? I think we have a little time.
Yeah, we should probably ask around and see if anyone knows about what was their ship name? The Demos? The Demos?
Yeah, the Demos was the other ship. They were the Phobos and the Demos. They were twin sloops of war. And the Demos was the one that picked up your best mate, Two Toes Ramsey. Meanwhile, of course, you've left this ship in the dock area now, I assume, and you're kind of into the town itself, and there's plenty of animals everywhere. You're not sure who owns them. They're like running loose, and you can hear people partying and laughing in various places. There is one rather striking image, which is there's a great big steeple of the Church of England, which has been built here, but there's apparently been some damage to the cross on top of it, because the cross is broken on top of this steeple, and there's some scaffolding built up around it, but they have some lights up on that scaffolding because some people are actually doing some stonework up there at night. I think it's a high priority for them to fix this broken cross, and it reminds you of something you've heard, but you might not be able to place what. Right off the top of your head. But meanwhile, there you are in the wickedest city on earth. What do you do?
Well, I've got an idea. Because there's so many people coming and going from these prostitutes. They hear all all types of stories, loads of stories, and I think if we visit these prostitutes, we might be able to find out what they know. Maybe they know about Trudeau's Ramsey, and I'd like to, what they call it. I've got my book right here. They say it's crack Jenny's teacup. It's right. I spend the night with one of these lovely ladies.
Well, if that's what you want to do, you go right ahead, but I've got other plans. I've got no use for these loose women.
Well, they got loose lips on top as well, though. They do. They hear things and they'll talk for the right price.
Yeah, but that costs money. I can get the same information for free at a pub.
Well, that might be right. You might be right. I don't know.
Well, it sounds like we're splitting up.
Yeah. Sure.
So, by the way, did you say crack Jenny's teacup? Is that slang for
yeah,
banging a prostitute?
Yeah.
yeah.
I was wondering which of us would get to it first.
Well, let's just say you do find a brothel called Jenny's Teacup, and so you guys split up. You temporarily split up, and you each go off your own ways into the wild night of Port Royal, and you go into Jenny's Teacup, and it just seems like almost any other tap room at first. But you're very quickly, this woman in the gaudiest hat you've ever seen. And she's an attractive woman. The hat is just out of this world. She smiles and her teeth are all rotten, but that's pretty normal. And she goes, "Well, hi there, love. Welcome to Jenny's Teacup. I'm Rosie Ricketts. How can I help you, sir? Lovely wig you're wearing. I do love headgear myself. I was pinched for stealing hats in London, and they put me on indentured servitude, but my master died, so now here I am taking care of myself. I do so love a good wig. You must be a proper gentleman, mustn't you?"
That's right. One day I'm going to have some land here. It was a plantation, I think.
Oh my, very nice. I don't suppose you'd like to go upstairs for a quick tumble?
Yes, I will patronise you. And I will... I've got some extra requests, though.
Well, I certainly hope you got more than a guinea.
Oh, yes, actually, I don't know how much he has, but I'm sure he has more than whatever a guinea is.
He's got plenty. Yeah.
You mean guinea pig?
I've got 5 of them.
Yeah. Well, he does have that rat, so who knows what he's hinting at. But she takes you by the hand and with a wink leads you up the stairs, and you get some raised mugs of acknowledgement from the other gentleman in the play. Wink, nod, aye. And meanwhile, down the end of this incredibly narrow and cramped, animal-filled and shit-filled street, Nicholas Nibble's walking towards another likely pub, and you can see one of those kinds with no name. There's just the big tankard hanging on the stick outside the door. But there's a man who stops you. He's a very serious-looking guy. He's wearing very somber clothing, all black, and a simple black hat. And he has a beard with no mustache. And he's holding a Bible. And he's like, "Wait, brother, stop. I just must beg you to repent of your sins now and leave this wicked city, for it is doomed, and the Lord will destroy it. Please, brother, please."
Which god are you on about?
Why, our Lord Jehovah, of course. Come back with me, brother. I have a ship bound for New England. There we will worship God and get away from this place, for it has been shown to me in a dream that the Lord will strike this city down upon the morrow.
Showed you in a dream, you say?
Oh, yes, of course. The Lord often speaks to people in dreams. Have you not read the good books, sir?
Well, I mean, not, I kind of read bits and pieces, for God so loved the world and all that nonsense, and
yes, brother, yes.
Begat this and begat that, and fucking Moses and fucking Noah and all that, and
Well, your profanity does not serve you well, sir. But if you come with me to New England, and we will make you a new man.
I don't want to go to fucking New England.
Oh, sir. Well, and I'm sorry. I'm afraid your soul will be doomed. But I hope that one day God does speak to you.
Well, I don't think it's gonna start now.
Well, I can think of one person you've spoken to, kind of like God, but that was last episode.
Yeah, he's much more inclined to believe, crazy, like spiritual voodoo-y juju rather than like, proper organized religion like they teach in, Sunday school and whatnot.
It's called Methodist, says the guy. Anyway, he moves off on his fruitless quest to try to get as many people saved from what he sees to be a doomed city. Although that's the second time you've heard somebody talk about death and destruction. Baron Zametti said he was going to bring death and destruction into the world as well. And he mumbled some stuff about looking to the broken God for your salvation in your moment of doom and several other strange things. But by now you pushed your way into this tap room with such an amazingly low ceiling that a big guy like you're maybe like half an inch too tall for the entire place. You have to be standing in between the beams, to not bump your head. And nevertheless, the place is packed with raucous laughter and that's where you find yourself. And then I'm going to cut back to the bedroom in Jenny's teacup. And Rosie Ricketts sits back on the bed and begins, now let's take off that wig and see that beautiful head of hair you must have under there.
Oh, all right then. And just for fun, I would like to I would say that as he takes it off, Mr. Twitchy flies out of it and flies onto her cleavage.
She screams and pulls him out of her cleavage and hurls him across the room, or he scampers off. He's fine. She jumps onto the bed. Lord bless me, don't you play a trick on a lady like that, sir.
Sorry, that bad Mr. Twitchy. He's got a mind of his own.
I certainly hope this Mr. Twitchy's not on these extras you spoke of, sir.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't like that at all, no way.
He's just going to watch, is all. That's all. No, I've got some extra favors to ask, just some questions.
Oh, yeah, well, what's your question then, love?
Well, I thought maybe you'd have some British fellas in here recently, or maybe they talked a little. Maybe you might have heard
the Garrison fellas in here all the time, and why my younger sister, she actually serves as a washerwoman there as well.
Well, yes.
So what is it you want? You want some kind of gossip? That's what you want?
Yes.
You looking to rob some rich officer?
No, I'm looking for a friend of ours. Actually, he was taken prisoner. He was a pirate. I saw him. I'm a pirate.
Well, I wouldn't have thought you was a pirate. You're far too sweet.
No, some people call me Cutthroat Petey.
Cutthroat Petey, very nice.
Yeah, so I've been known to really let's see what. Well, let me look in my book of piracy and see the right term. Yeah. Well, I'm the scourge of the seven seas, some people say.
Well, it's funny, I'd never heard of you, but maybe I will later. Now, I wouldn't know specifically if your friend, but if your friend's a pirate, he's definitely in that fortress. Now, getting into that fortress, that's the hard part, love. Because no one gets in there but for the washerwomen. Now, my little sister Bess, she goes in there every morning at 6 a.m. and takes the laundry out, right? And then every night at 6 p.m. she brings the laundry back, and watched all the way by Marines.
Well, that gave me an idea. Maybe we hitch a ride in the laundry? Is it like something you like a cart full of laundry?
Well, I believe they push a car, yeah, but I don't want you endangering my sister like that. Now, let me put your mind to something more useful, she says, and she pulls you towards her, and we're going to fade out on you for a minute, and go back to this nasty little tap room that Nicholas Nibble has just wandered into. And this is a surly barkeep with he's bald, but he has like that one little curl of head, like way down on his forehead, like a little baby curl down on his forehead. And he's just got no shirt on and an apron, and he's really disgusting. He's like, "What do you have then?"
Well, whatever you got some kind of ale.
Yeah. And he pushes a mug of ale across to you. And turns back on you, in fact. He goes, "I don't mind him," says Fellows, flipping some cards, playing solitaire on the bar next to you. "Yeah, I ain't seen you around here before."
No, you haven't. I've not been around here before, I don't believe.
"Yeah, well, I'm Slippery Jim. Welcome to Port Royal." He holds out his hand to shake your hand.
Pleasure to meet you, Slippery Jim. What brings you to Port Royal?
He, by the way, just badly bungled picking your pocket. "Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. Hey, that's why they call me Slippery Jim. Hey, let me buy you a drink then."
I punch him in the face.
He falls off the bar stool, and people turn around for a second, but then he like jumps up. You know the thing where the guy jumps up, like, "Oh, I'm okay. He's upside. I'll have that one coming. Let me make it up to you. Let me buy you a drink. How about the whole bottle of the good stuff, eh?"
Well, you sound like we could be friends.
"Oh, I like having friends, especially ones who don't cut my hands off. I don't know what happened. That always works at home." All right. And he gestures over. A bottle of rum is brought over, and he after you drain your ale, he fills it up with rum. "So what brings you to Port Royal, friend?"
Coffee.
"Ah, coffee. Yeah. Well, not much use for it myself. Too bitter. Got to put lost sugar in it. Sugar's expensive."
Yeah, I don't like it myself, but, we can sell it and make some money, so I'll be doing that. But, that's not my main objective. I'm looking for somebody.
"Oh, you might want to try Jenny's teacup."
Yeah, I thought about that, but...
What, you mean that kind? You're not that kind of somebody, eh? What, are you hunting down a bounty or something then?
Well, something like that.
Well, who are you looking for then? I know lots of people. I get around, Slippery Jim gets into lots of places. Talk to a lot of people. Run a game with some of the garrison men. You know how it is. Take a little percentage.
Oh, so you're a garrison man then, eh?
No, but I run a little game for him, you understand?
Oh, I see.
Organize it, like. Provide refreshments, party favors, you know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Well, I'm looking for a guy named Two Toes.
Two Toes Ramsey?
Two Toes Ramsey.
Oh, they just picked him up, they did. Yeah, they killed Black Jasper.
Is that right?
Yep, that's right. Took down the Queen's Wreck. Or was it the Queen's Reich? I can never remember. But, they took it down, that's for sure. And went down with all hands, they said, but a few got away. Got picked up by the Demos and the Phobos. Phobos hasn't made port yet, but it will any time. That Captain Murgatroyd, they say he's a real go-getter. But yeah, they got your friend Two Toes there in the fortress right now. Except you know what? They don't have him with the other prisoners. There's a little piece of information I'll bet you didn't know.
No, I didn't. Indeed.
No, they don't have him with the other prisoners because they ain't got anybody too dangerous in there right now. A lot of debtors and whatnot. So they put him down near the powder magazine. He's in full fetters, so he can't make no trouble. Full fetters, I'm talking with, chained to the cannonballs. They say they got him chained to the guns, in fact, down in the powder magazine. That's what my friends told me at the game last night, as a matter of fact, that I organized for them.
Well, that's all very interesting, but I don't... It doesn't... it's very good information you've given me, but I can't think of any way I could possibly
use it
Well,
to get to him?
well, other than knowing where he is, you asked me where he is, and I told you, and that's what that. I owe you that much for trying to pick your pocket, sir. And you got a very good attitude about it, and I appreciate it. Say, you shipping out here anytime soon?
Well, I got an offer to go to New England, but don't think I'll be taking that.
No, I wouldn't do that myself either. No, dour folk up that way.
Colonies.
Strangely independent ideas. I'm all for king and country myself. Go save the king. And meanwhile, do you wish to? Yeah. Do you wish to engage in the embrace of Rosie Ricketts?
Yep. There she blows.
A hump like a snow hill.
Yes, we could just go all kinds of ways with that, and so could Rosie. But she does just take her guinea at the end of it. And you're right. That rat watching me the whole time just sort of creeped me out, though. Gave me a bit of the creepy crawlies, eh?
Well, I'm sorry. You want to attend to it?
Well, anyway,
Okay.
You got anything else for her? You got anything else for me, love?
Well, I'm tapped out. I've got nothing.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, girls got to earn a living. I think I'll better get back down there and wait for the next bloke, eh? You're lovely. You come back any time.
You say your sister's. You don't want to put your sister in a precarious position.
Absolutely not. What kind of a sister would I be?
What? Well, I mean, if she doesn't know about it, she couldn't be blamed, right? If we just hop in the laundry when she's not looking.
Sounds like the less I know about this, the better. Well, if anything happens to my sister, you'll have Rosie Ricketts to deal with, eh?
All right, I
Scourge of
understand.
the seventh season, not.
Fine.
Petey Tweed. Yes, sir. What was your name again? Was Stabbing Pete or whatever? What'd you tell me then?
Well, I've got many names, sometimes they call me Pillaging Pete or Plundering Pete. Sometimes, yeah. But Petey's my name, yeah. Petey Tweed.
All right.
All right,
love. I'll remember you, Petey Tweed. You come back anytime. You're very nice. So, Petey Tweed walks out of Jenny's teacup and down the crowded, animal-filled streets of Port Royal to the vile tap room, where Nicholas Nibble has been chatting with Slippery Jim. Jim is now, of course, off on a card game with some other people, and you two can join each other at the bar of this tap room with its incredibly low ceiling to compare intelligence.
Hello there.
Hello?
Oh, I've found out some information might be interested in.
Well, I've got some as well.
Well, I found out our friend is he's been locked up in the garrison, and also this prostitute that I was pumping for information and more told me that she's got a sister that is part of a laundry crew that wheels in laundry every morning to the garrison, and she said she doesn't want to have her sister be involved in it, but I thought maybe we could try to hitch a ride, and maybe she's the sister is none the wiser, or maybe we'll find some other cart we jump in.
Interesting. Well, I've heard as well that Two Toes is indeed in the basement. I've got him tied up.
Basement, all right. That shouldn't be hard to find.
Well, I hope not. But where's this prostitute's sister?
Well, they congregate each morning, the washerwomen do, down at the end of the Queen's Road that leads up to the garrison. Probably the easiest place to find her.
Yeah, I think I don't know exactly, but I think we'll just hang around and see where they all congregate, and then try to sneak our way in. But I don't know if that'll work or not. We are quite heavy compared to fabric, so maybe maybe it might take some parlay skills.
Right. Well, so what time? It's like night, right?
Yeah, it's night. In fact, you could easily go back to the ship and get some sleep. In fact, I believe you were up much of the previous night. At least Nick was, I think. And and you've had quite a bit of rum all night and all day.
Yeah, and I was up reading my book on pirates.
That's right. And research, training, study. But I'll assume you guys probably would go back to the ship to Flop, the Dutch ship that you've captured, rather than stay in a lice-ridden Port Royal common room.
Yeah, I'm quite spent after giving that prostitute the Jolly Rogering.
Well, I say we go back to the ship then.
All right, and you get back to the ship with no problem. Of course, you've got some coffee you may or may not get to sell in the morning. You have a slightly higher priority with your friend because, they could be hanging him tomorrow for all you know. But you get back to the ship, and of course, you got most of the place to yourself, except for Rum Blossoms, who's theoretically on watch, but you get the sense he's catnapping in the nest. And most of your men are out partying in Port Royal. And so, the night passes without incident. Do you guys share the big captain's feather bed, or was one of you rig up a hammock somewhere?
Well, I think I'd like to spend the night in the hammock. It's a nice night out and looks quite refreshing.
All right.
Relaxing.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if we're going to do a repeat of our spy game episode.
That's why I said, yeah, because we've had too many of those.
We've had too many bed partnerings here. I don't know what the cast of Goonies World is trying to tell the world, but at any rate, the night passes without incident. You have dreams that make you feel uncomfortable that you won't repeat the next morning. And you, bright and early though, really early, because you've heard they go in there at 6 a.m., so it's still sort of like a twilight morning when you pull your way up. And of course, there's plenty of coffee on board, which your African friend King David has already got going. So with a nice bitter cup of Joe, I'm sure you can get on. And down at the end of Queens Ridge Road, you have all the castle servants are gathering. And I'd say it's a castle, but it's more like a fortress with sloped walls against cannon fire, things like that. And it's totally commanding this harbor. I mean, there's no way. It's a damn near impregnable harbor with the guns of this fortress looming over it and the town itself. But it seems a picture-perfect morning. You can't imagine anything terrible or wrong happening on a beautiful day like this. So it's with great hopes, perhaps, that you congregate with the castle servants who are eating their last biscuits and straightening their liveries and uniforms and getting ready to go. But you do see a woman who's the spitting image of Miss Ricketts, the prostitute you met last night. And she's talking to her friends in almost the same voice. And she's discussing a sailor who ran off on her and treated her wrong and so on and so forth. They've got these great big washerwoman, these shapeless bag-like washerwoman garments on. They've got to go down into salt water and all kinds of other things. They're not going to wear their good clothes to do that. And big bonnets to hide their faces from the hot sun as they work all day. And they're standing around with these great big carts. They're, of course, more or less empty right now, which could be another problem because they haven't loaded up the laundry yet to do it. But I'm sure you guys could think of something. But she sees you guys looking at her. She goes, "Oh, well, my. Aren't you a tall drink of water?" she says, looking at Nicholas Nibble, who is much the taller of the two pirates, and not wearing a rat on his shoulder, which tends to put ladies off.
Yeah, hello.
My, aren't you? You're just a great big one-master ship, aren't you? All by yourself. Just a great big mast of a man.
Well, Great Big Mast was my nickname in pirate school.
Oh my, she says, and all the other washerwomen giggle.
There's no such thing as pirate school. I read about that. He's lying to you. I'm an honest man.
Well, you're the only one in Port Royal then, love.
But, all right, I've got to question. So is there no men here that does this job? Is it all women?
Oh man, what? Well, they call it a washerwoman, don't they? We have very strict gender occupation differences here in Port Royal. You'd never see a man changing a nappy or washing anything.
Well, I guess not. I guess he'd be the laughing stock of the town.
Say, why are you asking so much about the laundry? What's your interest then?
Oh, well, we're just, I'm a tourist.
A tourist? All right, they've come to see all the sugar cane, eh?
Well, I'd like to really get in and see the inside of that fort. See what's knocking about inside.
Well, you could always get yourselves arrested.
Well, I thought about that, but I don't think they'd go easy on me. I think they just they take it all very seriously, and I'd probably be hanged with all the pirates. I heard there were pirates inside there.
Oh, there's one pirate, that's for sure, right now. They got a lot of debtors in there in the debtors' prison, but they've got one of the nastiest pirates I've ever heard tell of, Two Toes Ramsey. Perhaps you know him.
Well, he's not that bad.
Well,
I don't know him.
I thought you were an honest man.
No, I've heard stories. It was in this book of mine.
Oh, really? Well, that book was just rushed to publication. I understand his career's been quite recent.
That's right, the ink is still fresh.
Ah, yes. I love the smell of fresh ink. Can't read or write, but I like smelling books.
I've heard of page perverts that just smell books all the time.
Yes, one time I walked into a shop because I can't read very well and I thought it said book smellers, but it was a booksellers. It was very disappointing, although I had a lovely time browsing.
That's right.
Well, how is it you think I can help you with this castle business? And I'd rather talk to this big whole chunk of a man right here, if you don't mind.
Well, you've got that cart, you see, but I don't know. I mean, we could hide in it, right? But I don't know. Are you gonna let us do that?
You're asking me to let you hide in my cart?
Yeah, why not?
I'm not pushing a big lot of you inside that cart.
Well,
I'll tell you what I will do, though. Just because I like the idea so much, I would love to take the day off. Just love to. If you'd like to see the inside of the fortress, maybe you should do the laundry, eh?
I was afraid of that. But it's woman's work.
Well, I've already got this wig on, you know. It's not the right style, but it is a disguise of sorts. I could, with this bonnet on, I think I could. I don't think a 6 foot something man would pass, but I might.
Now I'll have to hide. I'll have to hide in the car. You'll have to push, I suppose.
Well, suppose if I were to get a guinea, then I could just go down to this alley here and slip off into my day clothes and have myself a nice holiday. And if anyone asks, I'll say I was beaten over the head by 2 thugs who stole me washing cart.
Right, I've already given a guinea to your sister.
Oh, really? Well, I got a better way of making guineas than she does. It don't involve me arse up in the air, don't I?
But you probably shouldn't. I said I wouldn't. Well, it was implied I wasn't going to involve you. But.
Oh, she's my big sister, like, always looking out for me. I can't help it. I can't help it if some big blokes knocked me over the head and took me shopping cart. I mean, me washing cart. Now I'm going to go shopping. Well, you got me washing cart. With me guinea that you're going to give me.
Right, well, here's your guinea.
Oh, well, let's go right this way then. And she goes down into a very narrow alley, and she slips off this bag-like dress and bonnet, and she is just wearing her normal dress underneath it, to protect her clothes from suds and whatnot. And you're going to put it on, Pete?
Yeah.
All right. Are you clean-shaven?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean...
You've got the curly hair. It's a white wig, but it's still with the, hey, I'm all for this plan.
Yeah, with the bonnet, he is, he probably, I don't know how, I'm going to say that he's the type that just can't really grow facial hair. So even if he hasn't if he hasn't had a chance to shave, he wouldn't have stubble or anything. He's just all bald and everything.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure what female hairstyles were like at the time, but how long is the wig?
Oh, it's, it goes down like to his shoulders.
I think for comedic purposes, we should do pigtails.
Well, I can wrap it up in pigtails.
And wigtails.
Wigtails, there you go.
All right, you wrap that up in wigtails real quick. In fact, she even helps you. Get that up in some wigtails there. And just don't talk much, eh? They'll lead you right into the washrooms, and you can get a whole look at the whole lower levels. In fact, the kitchens, the larder. They got their powder magazine down there.
All right.
So I'm not so foolish as to think you's all just going in for tourism. But the less I know, the better. Have a lovely day, dearies.
Toodaloo.
Well, where's the laundry? We got to. I can't just go in without clothes on top
Just
of me.
follow the other washerwomen, dearie.
No, I mean in the basket.
Oh.
Or the
Well,
cart.
I don't know. You're just going to have to figure that out. I'd look around for a tarp or a blanket or something, wouldn't I?
Right then.
All right. And she rushes off. And the only tarp, because there's people selling bolts of cloth out on the street. The marketer is getting his little stall ready. And the stall's in front of a tailor shop where they can do adjustments and things like that. But they have just to buy a bolt of cloth and just wad that up in there and then lay under it in a fetal position. That might work.
Yes, I think that is a good plan.
All right. Well, you got to pay too much for it, but there's terrible inflation here anyway. So after a quick negotiation, you're able to duck back into the alley and hop into the washing cart. Throw the bolt of cloth over you, muffle. What word am I trying to say? Muss it up a little bit, and muss it up with your muscles. And they need a muscle for a snack, and then I guess you can begin pushing him in with all the other washerwomen. In fact, they're starting to head off towards the fortress right now, going up Queens Road. And there's a bit of a bridge that it's kind of over a moat type situation. Has been dug out at the end of this bit of land just as a defensive measure. And you're all filing in across that. And some of the Marines look a little friendly with some of the washerwomen. And they're winking at them and things like that. And as you guys approach, well, what have we here? A new lass. I love the wigtails. Says a guy. He walks up like a couple inches from you.
Thank you very much.
And, nice big girl, aren't you?
That's right. People call me Pippi.
That is a little name for such a big girl. And he grabs your buttocks and squeezes. Oh, get a lot of exercise too, do you?
Oh yes, pushing these heavy loads of laundry, right?
Well,
Walks the back.
Well, maybe tonight you can push my heavy load of laundry about, eh? I understand you just come back here around 6 p.m. to give the laundry back. It just so happens it's the end of my shift. We'll say me and you go get a little bit horizontal, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you later on. Pippi. He says as you file on with all the other washerwomen. And again, you feel vaguely uncomfortable. But up ahead, there's the great gaping portcullis doorway of the fortress, and you, along with the other servants.
My full name was Pippi Longcocking. But I didn't want to tell him that part. Might get us caught.
Save that for a stage name of some kind. Well, Pippi Longcocking and Nicholas Nibble find themselves going into the fortress to rescue their friend Two Toes Ramsey. And whether or not they can, we will find out next time on Goonies World. Yarr! Yarr!